Welcome back everybody to another update to my Blu-ray collection. So yeah, we're doing it like this for today because it's really rather quite warm today in the UK and I look a state after work and everything. So yeah, just doing it like this for today. But yeah, we've got a 6 films to look at today. An even split of normal Blu-rays and 4K films as well, as there was a fair bit of a good sale on HMV recently with 4Ks going for 2 for 30, and then there were a deal on certain Blu-rays as well. So yeah, we'll look at the Blu-rays first, and the first of which is Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, starring the great Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. And yeah, it's really like a psychological kind of thriller film. One of them is an aging performer one time or another, as yeah, and they are having to look after the other one, and yeah. Bette Davis portrays an aging ex-child star, while Joan Crawford plays her sister as she's a cripple as well, and yeah, it's basically the sisters descending into madness, and yeah, reportedly Bette Davis and Joan Crawford hated each other while making this film, and I'm pretty sure they hated each other before and after this film as well. But yeah, superb film from I think it's Robert Aldrich. Yeah, Robert Aldrich. I've seen plenty of his films before, but yeah, this is one of my favourites from him, and definitely one of my favourites from the 60s. And moving swiftly on, we have Maverick, which has Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster, and James Garner, directed by the great Richard Donner, who obviously did the first Superman and the Lethal Weapon films, among others. And yeah, it's basically just a western kind of, action comedy film, which is pretty well done, to be honest. It's only a PG, so you don't go expecting any massive amounts of violence or anything like that from, say, your more classic western films. But yeah, it's a really fun film, and yeah, the performers put in good performances, and it's well made, well directed, and yeah, pretty fun as well. And it's from 1994, I think it is. Yeah. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is from 1962, I think. Yes, it is. So yeah, bit of a difference of age between those two, and the genre as well, and getting even more different in terms of age and genre is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Now, I've not seen the original that this is based off, but I absolutely adore this film, so I'm not really all that fussed about seeing the film it's originally based off, to be honest. But yeah, Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara put in great performances. It's also directed by David Fincher, who's done several of my favourite films. So yeah, it's well worth finally getting into my collection. It is a little long, or 2 hours 40 near enough, so that might put off some people, but it doesn't put me off. Length of a film never puts me off, as long as the length of the film is used well. So that's why I have no problem with the Lord of the Rings films or any of those classic epic films from like the 60s and 50s. As long as they use that time well, then I have no problem whatsoever with a long film. The longest film I've seen, I think, is Once Upon a Time in America, which is 4 hours plus. But yeah, you get 2 discs with this. You get the special edition stuff on the one side, and then the film on the other. So yeah, you get all those special features, which is nice to see. And now we've got the 4K films. These 2 are part of a box that I currently have. Let me just go get it. I forgot about it. Yeah, it's a box set that I've been planning on, replacing, because only 2 of the films I actually like from the box set. And those 2 are SpiderMan, and guess what it's going to be the next one? SpiderMan 2. Both on 4K. I've been meaning to get these on 4K for a long, long time now. And yeah, 2 for 30 HMV meant that, yeah, it was well worth the money of getting them. So yeah, these are easily 2 of my favourite superhero films, especially from the 2000s, or especially the early 2000s, where it was a little bit rocky in terms of the quality of superhero films, because obviously you had Blade 2, and you had X-Men, the first 2 X-Men films, and these 2 films, but then you also had Daredevil, or Elektra, or, God, Catwoman. So yeah, had a rocky start to the whole superhero genre, but these 2 are definitely some of the best of the bunch, quite frankly. So yeah, as per usual, you get the standard Blu-ray disc on the left, and you get the 4K on the right. They're both actually the same in terms of the decal, I think, on the front. Oh no, they're not. Yeah, slightly different. So yeah, for some reason this one's on a flat for some reason, and there's the standard Blu-ray Don't know why the standard Blu-ray gets the artwork and the 4K doesn't, but whatever. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing them in 4K. The first film is now nearly 20 years old, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they look in terms of age. And the box set I am replacing those two films, the box set I am replacing those 4K films with, or the other way around, however you word it, is obviously the Spider-Man 5 film movie collection. Which, yeah, obviously I love the first two, but third film is a massive disappointment. I remember seeing that in the cinema, which was my first Spider-Man film in the cinema, after adoring the first two, and being massively disappointed. And then Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 were even more of a disappointment. So, yeah, I have no need for this Blu-ray box set anymore. So, for once, I am actually getting rid of films as well as adding them to my collection. So, yeah, swiftly getting rid of that box set. So, yeah, no need for it anymore as far as I'm concerned. And finally, we have the 40th anniversary edition. So, this came out 4 years ago, of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is, again, one of Steven Spielberg's best films. After Jaws, he moved swiftly onto something completely different, and this is a sci-fi film rather than a, a horror film or creature feature, whichever genre you want to really put Jaws into. And yeah, I've been really looking forward to having this on 4K because the special effects and the score and everything else really do obviously come to life with a 4K release. And being the 40th anniversary, it's obviously been given the up treatment. It's not just, a standard 4K release, it's a special one. So yeah, you get the 4K disc, then you get the Blu-ray, and then you get the special features as well. Not sure if this has the director's cut on here, but it's only a couple of minutes longer than the theatrical cut, so yeah, no biggie if it doesn't have the director's cut, to be honest. In fact, it does now, looking at the back of it. It has all three versions of it, in fact. It's a theatrical version at 135 minutes long, the special edition version, which is for some reason only 132 minutes long, and then the director's cut at 137 minutes long. So, yeah, no idea why the special edition version is shorter. A little bit weird there, but yeah, it's a superb film, and yeah, was and meant Steven Spielberg was free for free on films in the 70s, because obviously before that you had Jaws and then Duel being one of my all-time favourite films, and Jaws is also one of my all-time favourite films, and then Close Encounters of the Third Kind is very close to being one of my all-time favourite films. So yeah, he was free for free at that point, and as far as I'm concerned, Close Encounters is the better of the two big sci-fi films from 1977, the other being obviously Star Wars, but I appreciate and respect Star Wars in a lot of ways, but I just prefer Close Encounters of the Third Kind, to be honest. I think Steven Spielberg is a far better director, and the smaller scale, yeah, it's obviously set on Earth, and it's a lot smaller in scale, unlike Star Wars, but I think the smaller scale works in its favour, because it, and makes the characters more relatable and all that lot, and it doesn't feel like it's letting too many elements be left unanswered or for another film. It's all nice and enclosed in that one whole 2 hour 20 running time. So yeah, great film, and yeah, I love every one of the films that I've got. Quite frankly, I wouldn't have bought them if I didn't. But yeah, it's really nice to see that HMV are still rocking out the really good offers, because yeah, they've saving me a lot of money in the process, while also helping me not just replace films with better versions, 4K films, but also get rid of box sets that I really do not need. Another case in point in that is the Alien box set. Love the first two films, but the third and fourth I really do not like. So hopefully if Aliens ever comes out on 4K, I can also get rid of that box set as well. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.